Let's have a little talk about pocket billiards. A little honest talk. A real honest talk. A lot of times people tell me they practice. Say, oh, well, I practice 2-3 hours a day. And yet they don't seem to get any better. And when I ask them, well, what do you practice? They always tell me that they just shoot shots. They practice drills, they practice this, that. And I said, why do you practice? Well, to get better. Well, let me point out to you that practice, if your practice is not specific and deliberate, then you're wasting your time. If you don't have a purpose in your practice, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And many players have played at the same level for years and years and years, and they read more books and they take more lessons and they do all this, and they never seem to improve. If that's you, then it's time to get real. And when I say get real, I mean define what it is you want to accomplish in pocket billiards. Write it down, and then declare why you want to accomplish that. And so now we're on the road. We know where you're going, we know what you want to do, and we know why you want to do it. Okay, so now when it comes to practice, when you practice, the only thing, I only want you to do one type of practice. One. Not 50 or 60. One. And that practice has to involve itself in skill development. If that practice is not specific skill development, then you are really wasting your time. And from now on, every move you make has to be specific, and it has to be deliberate. It creates a neurological response. When you do something on the table, it creates a neurological response, and you want to be in control of what that neurological response is. You don't want it to be subject to the whims of action. You want it to be controlled. Perfect practice. Now, what perfect practice does, it creates a chemical in your brain. When you specify exactly what you want to accomplish by way of skill development, it creates a chemical in your brain, and they have a name for that chemical. It's called myelin. Now, that actually grows in your brain. Now, say you come to the table and you practice lesson 26 in the road player training course. Every time you hit that shot, the neurological response in your brain logs that. It's like muscle memory. It logs it. But if you hit it a couple times and jump onto another one, jump onto another one, jump onto another one, you practice haphazard, then it can never lodge the neurological response where you will have that shot. That's why every single lesson I have calls for you to sign it when you can do it 5 times in a row. Myelin is a chemical substance in your brain that establishes itself when you repeat something. If you repeat something often enough, you'll have a real strong dose of myelin in your brain, and the shots will then become easy. There was a girl who listened to a tremendous symphony piece played by the piano, and she wanted to do that. She hadn't played the piano, and in order to play at that level, you're looking at 12 years of apprenticeship. But she wanted to play that, and she told a coach, she said, I want you to teach me that concert, that piece. And I don't want to learn anything else, just that piece. So he took her under his wing. And what they did is he would only let her play 4 notes. She had to play those 4 notes until she mastered them. And then she'd go on to the next 4 notes and play them until she mastered them. Then she'd play all 8 notes until she mastered them. And little by little, this girl, in a year's time, mastered that piece, that rendition. And she went out on stage as a total unknown, young girl. In fact, they referred to her as the janitor. Said the janitor would like to play a piece. She came out and sat down and played like a mastered pianist, like a master pianist. She stunned the audience with her perfection. And that was the only song she could play. But see what she did, she perfected it. She mastered it. She built the myelin so she could perform that difficult piece. What you need to do is narrow your focus. No longer will you be scattered all over the place, working on this, working on that. You're going to narrow it. You're going to build that myelin so that that electrical neuron in your brain sends signals. When you shy away from your practice, your myelin begins to disappear. So if you want to keep your myelin, keep your muscle memory sharp, you have to continue the practice. Let me just tell you, before I let you go, what skill is. Skills are physical cells that wrap neuron circuits around your brain in direct response to specific experiences. This program is for that solitary warrior who's all business. When it comes to battle, you're all business. You want to be able to go into your battle with two things. One, you want to be able to say, I know this shot, I have experience. And the other is, I'm going to trust my training. I'm going to